Right, I hope you can all hear me properly. I don't know whether I've got the microphone and everything set up. So, see what happens. Apologies for light as well. I noticed with the stream I did last week when I replayed it, I noticed I was like really quite dark in here. So I've just got a temporary light by the side of me now, but it's hit me in the side of the face. It's like I've got a car shining its headlights into me. But if I take that away, it's going to probably get a bit. I'll try and get that sorted for next time anyway. Right, just going to wait a bit longer. I don't think I'm going to get that many people here tonight because last week I actually advertised this on I paid for a Facebook ads thing, and it sort of puts the video out so everyone knows I'm coming on. But I want to try and make these things regular, even though I haven't actually got an awful lot to report today. But I thought if I keep doing these every week, weekly, bi-weekly, probably weekly, I think. And I think 7 o'clock on a Sunday works for me because it's quite good, because if I've been working on the Defender or whatever that weekend, then I can sort of come on and give a quick update. I've got a quick video to update for Defender, but sometimes, I can't be asked to just go and edit videos and update them on the Sunday and upload them on the Sunday. So it's quite handy if I can just come on here and, sort of just give you a quick update. And then when I get round to obviously uploading actual videos. So this weekend was the first weekend, really, of the sort of Kickstarter of the project. I did actually do something. I had a list of about 10 or 15 things I wanted to achieve this weekend. I've probably achieved 2 of them, but that's just typical of the way things go. So Saturday, I was going to go out and I was actually going to prime the axles, which I'd prepared previously. But it was absolutely pissing down. And the problem I've got at the moment is my garage. Even though I like to sort of take, as you've seen in my videos, I like to take the stuff out of the garage and work on it in the front because it's a little bit sort of tight in the garage. And I've got to move my motorbike out and everything else. And I didn't really want to be spraying anything in the garage either, because you'll get the spray going over everything else. So Saturday was a bit of a write-off. I spent the day doing a bit of research, looking for nice shiny bits to buy for the Land Rover, because we're actually at that stage now. We can actually start buying stuff and putting it back together. So today I went out. I used my angle grinder on the radius arms to get a bit more of the rust off, as I'm going to respray those. My angle grinder overheated after I'd finished one of them, so I'm not sure if it's broken or whether it's just overheated. By the way, can everyone hear me all right? Because I'm not seeing anyone. I know there's only 6 people watching, but if you can't hear me, can you hear me okay? So yeah, angle grinder went. So that was a bit of a pisser. So then I went on to the A frame, the link arms on the A frame with the rear fulcrum attaches to. I knew this job, getting these off. Cheers, mate. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a bastard taking these things off, and I think that's why I forgot about them, because when I was working on it before, I think I put them to one side. And I thought, yeah, I'll do that some other time. So before I started to rebuild it, I've got to strip those arms off. So I went out and attempted that today. Yeah, as predicted, and as people told me, it was a bastard. I didn't have the correct tools to get the main sort of bolt off. I think it's like 20. I couldn't get the socket in there, or a ring spanner, and I don't have an open-ended spanner, sort of 28 mil anyway. I think it was 28 mil. And even if I did, I don't think an open-ended spanner would have done it anyway, because I think it would have just rounded it off. So I put a load of penetration fluid on that. I then decided I was just going to remove the 3 bolts that hold the actual bracket onto the chassis itself. Well, once again, impossible to get off. They rounded straight away. So I got my tool on there, which grips them for getting off rounded nuts, and I sheared all 6 bolts in total. So I've got them off in theory, but they've all snapped. And even when the bolts are snapped, I still couldn't get the bracket off the chassis. So I'm going to have to go out there next weekend and sort of hammer that or something. I could replace them. I I think the price of the actual plates are £25 or something. I thought, well, why bother? If I can salvage them, they don't actually do an awful lot anyway. So yeah, so I'm getting there with that bit, but I'll have to continue again next weekend. And that's it really. So I did the radius arms. I've got to figure out how to get the bushes out of there. I've seen somewhere before where they heat them up and knock them out and things. I don't have any sort of like press or pushing device, so I'll probably buy something like that. And the other thing I've done is I've finally got the book. Is that coming out mirror image? Anyway, you know what it is. Everyone knows what this is, right? Absolutely awesome book. This is like Haynes Manual. I've been after one of these for ages. Like it's a bedtime reading, this is. So yeah, I'll be going through that as well. I've also been coming up with a list of things that I'm going to get next. So bearing in mind, the things I'm going to get now are going to be a bit expensive. I mean, the suspension, depending on what I go for, it's going to be anything from £300-400 to, if I go to OME, £600-700. I'm probably going to go with the Terra Firma ones, to be honest. I think they work about £400, and that gives me a 2-inch lift. And the other thing I want to get is the Pro bushes as well, to the nylon bushes to replace all the bushes in that part. And I think that comes to about £200. So there's a few sort of quids worth there that I've got to get. And we got Christmas coming up as well. Obviously, there's we got the uncertainty of what's going on in the world at the moment as well. So it's not a great time to be spending shitloads of money. But I need to get those 2 bits so I can start building up the rolling chassis. That'll probably take me up to Christmas. I don't know. We'll see. Where are we now? Halfway through November. So yeah, I'll upload a video after I get off here. The only other thing I wanted to mention, well, there's the Primal Tribe group on Facebook as well. We got 8 of us in there at the moment, so it's not really a thriving group at the moment, but I'm still hoping to build that up. It's a private group, and if you want to join, and just talk about the type of stuff that I do on the channel, I'll always be in there. It's another way of sort of getting updates from me. If I disappear for a weekend, I'll always be in there. But like I say, it's a bit quiet at the moment because there's only 8 of us in there. But if anyone wants to join that, I'll put the link in. It's a private group, so you'll have to come home and you'll have to, I think it's the link. There's a link there. Yeah, so you have to request membership, and then I think you've got to answer a couple of questions or something just to get rid of idiots. And that's really it, I guess, for today. I don't really have an awful lot. I don't really want to sit here rambling on about nothing. I thought I'd just give a quick 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half-hour update every week and go from there. The only other thing I want to mention, which is nothing to do with the Defender, is I saw on the news recently that the government is talking about stopping selling new petrol and diesel cars from 2030, which shocked me a little bit. I mean, I know they've been trying to get rid of diesel for quite some time, because I remember, I can't remember, 20-30 years ago, they were saying, yeah, get diesel. And then they were saying, no, diesel bad. You get petrol. And now they're saying, no, petrol bad. We're all going to end up in Johnny cabs now by 2050, probably sooner. And this does piss me off. I mean, I'm not getting into the whole environmental debate here, but I do like engines, whether they are petrol or diesel. And I remember, when I was a teenager and I used to have my old, my Mini, my first car, Mini, and I had a Fiesta, like 1 litre or something like that. And you're out in the driveway fixing it every day, piston rings go, so what? We'll just get them off, put the new piston rings on, get it back together, I'll be back in work in the morning, Gearbox goes, yeah, we'll do that, drop that on the driveway. Brakes go, yeah, fix the brakes. But nowadays, I'm going off a little bit of a tangent here, but nowadays I find modern vehicles quite dull, quite boring, and they're really, really hard to work on. I've got a 2-year-old Volkswagen GTD out there. I never look at it, never touch it. The only time I open up the bonnet now is to put sort of screen washing. It's just so difficult to work on vehicles nowadays. You just don't have the time, you don't have the expertise, because you need a lot of sort of computer equipment, and it's taken out a lot of the fun of owning vehicles, which is why people like me have nice projects like the Defender. And and if I'm not working on the Defender, I'm working on my bike, and and I've worked on dozens of vehicles over the years, and I feel that's being taken away from us anyway. And it'll be interesting to see what happens now when they stop selling petrol and diesel engine vehicles. I think it's awful. I think it's going to be a real shame, especially in 9 years. Now, I guess that it doesn't mean that we're not going to we're all going to be driving around electric cars the moment they do it, but it is heading that way. And not only is it going to be electric cars, they're going to be self-drive cars as well. So it's going to be very, very dull in the future, But I just hope that we can carry on tinkering with engines and tinkering with cars and things. It'll be a real shame otherwise. But yeah, so I don't know if anyone's got any opinions on that, but yeah, it'll be a shame. But hopefully the internal combustion engine will live a little bit longer. I think it'd be an awful world. Can you imagine that? Getting out and going to work in the morning in an electronic vehicle that you don't even own, that's being self-driven. The code that's driving it has been written by somebody like me, which is a bit scary. So yeah, I don't know, Right, and let me just get the old specs on. I'm still on my laptop here, so I can't read the chat. So the question is, do you think the price of old Defenders will decrease as we get to the 2000, or increase because diesel and petrol will still be available? Yeah, okay, I'll answer both of those. I mean, certainly my Defender is just going to go up in price anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if it's taken on the road. It's just going to go up in price. Well, okay, it's bound to. I only bought it for £800, but I think these older vehicles are going to become like they're like rocking or shit. They're going to be worth so much. I just don't know whether we're going to be able to drive them on the roads anymore. They'll start off by increasing taxes, and it might get to the stage where we can sort of muddle on for a few years, paying extra tax because we've got these dirty, disgusting diesels. But they'll get us eventually. They want to get rid of us. They want to get rid of diesel and petrol engines. The other thing I agree with as well, you've said, you don't think the infrastructure is there for recharging electronic vehicles. I mean, yeah, absolutely. They're nowhere near there yet. And how does it work anyway? I mean, you can't just rock up at a charging station and plug your car in for 7 minutes and then drive off again. So presumably you have to do it like in the morning and the evening or something. I don't know, but yeah, they've got a long way to go before they're going to get that infrastructure in. And with the sort of upset that's going on in the country at the moment, I'm not even convinced they're going to get there anytime soon. But so yeah, I think diesel cars, petrol cars will, well, let's face it, they're the only type of cars, aren't they? Electric cars are just no, but I think they're going to be around a while, but I think they will just start taxing us. It's well, that's what they do in this country, isn't it? They tax us with everything. So the other thing I was thinking about, and maybe we can do it here as well. So I was, as you all know, maybe, well, hopefully, I'm obviously a prepper as well. And, I am constantly looking for the end of the world. For me, the end of the world has been coming next year for the last 20 years, so I'm always looking for the bad times. So 2020 for me was like, whoa, no, well, not exciting, but it was like, Christ, the end of the world is coming. And one of the reasons I've got the old Defender in the first place is because in a grid down situation where you can't get to the shops, you can't just go and get your car fixed, you can get loads of spare parts for an old Defender, and they're very, very cheap as well. I was looking yesterday. I think I saw the price of a piston was like £25 or something. I thought, Jesus Christ, if I want to get a new piston for one of my new cars or new injector or something, I'd have to take it a loan or credit card or something. So what I was trying to think of, what would be an ideal list of spare parts for a Defender that you should keep? Things I've never driven a Defender before, so I've got no idea what they're like. I had a Discovery for a couple of years, so I want to try and get a list of what would you need? What would you, if you could store some bits in your shed or garage, ready to repair common problems on a Defender? What would they be? Apart from the obvious oil filter, air filter, stuff like that. What sort of bits do you think go on them, or what bits should somebody like me as a prepper be storing now whilst I still can, and just in case these parts aren't going to be around in the future. So yeah, it's interesting. If anyone's got any thoughts on that, maybe stick it in the comments after this sort of live feed is finished. The other thing is, I generally want to know whether these sort of live streams are worthwhile. I'm quite happy to come here, give an update every week, but obviously if nobody's sort of listening, there's not much point. But well, I think I'll keep on doing them and I'll see how we go. I mean, obviously, as the momentum builds up in YouTube, I'll start getting more people sort of coming on and listening. So I'll keep on going. Norway, £1,500 a year to tax. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? They're really clamping down. It doesn't matter what your opinion is on the old sort of environmental thing. They're really clamping down on it now, because they have to. They have to be seen to be doing something, even if it's ridiculous or not. You can't tell me that these thousands of wind farms all over the country and solar panels and all these batteries and everything else that they're creating are any better for the environment when you take into account all the other sort of factors. But yeah, they're going to come after diesel and petrol, unfortunately. So I'm just hoping in my lifetime they don't. But I don't know. Might get I might, going by the history of this Defender, I might actually just finish it, and they're like, right, that's it, no more cars allowed on the road. It may never see the road. I'll take it for a test drive around the block or something. Something else that'll be interesting as well. Talking about electric vehicles. So obviously now there are strict speed limits on the road. 70 mile an hour on motorways, various other things. Now, when electronic vehicles come out, it'll be interesting to see whether they limit these cars to the actual speed limits, because why wouldn't you? Okay, if you're breaking the law by going over 70 mile an hour, why would you build a electronic car, that can go over 70 mile an hour? And not only that, why isn't the software? Why don't these cars get programmed so they can't actually go over 70 mile an hour? So even if you could, can you imagine so you're going on a motorway, it knows exactly where you are, you're being located constantly. Well, we are anyway because of our phones, but you know what I mean? The car has location devices on it. It knows when you're on the 70 mile an hour limit. Why wouldn't it just ensure that you cannot go over 70 mile an hour? Because I've got a feeling they're going to still allow us to do that, which means the only reason they would allow us to do it is so they can get some money from speeding tickets. Because it doesn't make sense. If you're not allowed to go over 70 mile an hour, why would you have a car that can go over 70 mile an hour? I've never really understood that. But yeah, I guess it's at the end of the day, this country, and a lot of other countries as well, it's just down to tax now. They'll tax you on whatever they possibly can, and if they can get more out of you, it's just crazy the way we're going. I really need to get a bigger monitor, don't I? Yeah, congestion charges. Yeah, that's going to be another one, isn't it? Congestion charges. I mean, I don't go anywhere near any cities that have that at the moment. I've got a little allergic reaction to cities anyway. But yeah, you're right. You're just not going to be able to go. Can you imagine? Can you imagine us getting on in our Landies going through the middle of London in 10 years' time with all that smoke coming out the back of the exhaust? It's just not going to happen, is it? It's going to be like, yeah, you can come in. It's going to cost you £75 though, and then there'll be a total ban outright, so you just can't get in at all with any sort of engine, But yeah, electric. I'm not a fan. I'm a computer guy. I make a living out of computer programming. I'm very much into technology, although you wouldn't think so if you saw my setup here, my lighting and everything. But I don't like the idea of electronic vehicles. I really don't. And I think. I think it's a big con. I don't think it's going to do much more for the environment than anything else. But I could be wrong. What do I know? But when you take into you've got to dispose of batteries. Batteries don't last long. You've got to recreate them, and that's a process that uses carbon and things like that. It's just, I think it's just a lot of other companies making shitloads of money. But anyway, I don't want to get too political on this channel. I think anyone who knows me knows what my views are on most things anyway. But yeah, all right, fair comment. You know, arguments for vehicles going over the speed limit, emergency situations. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's just a thought, you know. When it just seems to me that if this would be the perfect time to, you know, they're getting rid of sort of petrol, diesel, so now would be the time to, oh, well, actually, we'll make sure these cars can't go any faster. But I fundamentally do not like the idea that, you know, a computer is controlling my car. I mean, don't get me wrong, our cars are riddled with computers nowadays, but an electronic car that's completely controlled by computer just freaks me out a little bit. You know, they know exactly where you are. They can take control of that car. They could make it go faster. They could make it go slower. Let alone hacking into it. You know, which yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet with the old hacking. Now they're bringing out 5G everywhere. Yes, it's going to be interesting times in the future. Right, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it there. If anyone, seriously, you know, if nobody's getting anything out of these streams, I won't do them. If you want to continue and you want me to talk about something, or you've got any questions, or even, you know, like I said last time, you can even come on. We can all have a chat, and we can do that as well. So yeah, so I'm going to go now. I'm going to upload a video. It's not that exciting, to be honest, but at least it's a start. You know, this is a big thing for me now, because this is the first time in a long time I've actually done some work on the Landy that's, you know, progressed it. You know, I haven't progressed it very far, but it's going there. And before next weekend, I would certainly have ordered some other parts anyway. But so yeah, we're going there. I just got to keep my eye on money, obviously. But yeah, no worries, Cake Monster. And I'm going to head off now, and I'll catch you all, well, hopefully 7 o'clock next week. But wait for I'm actually away next Saturday. I'm at a party. No, I'm not. Obviously, we're on lockdown. I didn't say that. Next Saturday, I'm doing my hair, and I'm going to be doing my hair all night, so I may not get back until Sunday. I may not finish washing my hair till Sunday lunchtime. So I may not be able to do a live stream next Sunday, but I am going to try, because I'll be working all Saturday morning on it anyway. So hopefully I can get a little bit further, even if it's quick updates, say what bits I've ordered. You know, I'll probably come on and do that. Right, I'm going to head off then, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers, Em.